Hello everyone, it's Michelle Patterson here with Angel Souls, and these are going to be our 2020 year overview videos. These are extremely important because we are coming into an era that some people are coining the golden era, a quest towards the golden consciousness, all of those things. So we're going to see a lot of density blowing out of our lives, out of our world, and it might throw you off a little bit. So I wanted to do these videos so that you could be prepared and you could have your energy set so that, as things start to unfold, you can go with the flow, you can observe without investing, and you'll be okay. All right? These are not scary times. This is not a threat. These are not videos to be like, danger, 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 watch out. No. It's not about that. It's about being in your awareness. So through these videos, it's my hope and my intention that this gives you some bit of good information, something that will help you per sign, and that's just to divvy up the audience. That way I can focus in on different energetic groups, and make sure you're watching for your sun, your moon, your rising. You might want to watch for your Venus sign, whatever works for you. But hopefully the information that comes through is exactly what you need to hear throughout the year to help you remain centered and be able to roll with whatever's coming, right? So if you would like to get a personal reading with me, you can just go to my website at angelsouls444.com. I will leave information in the description box below on courses. I may be putting out some courses having to do with getting prepared for 2020 and lots of other things. There's a huge library of stuff there, so go check that out. And of course, if you'd like to support me on Patreon, I'll leave all that information down below as well. If you want to just support me by subscribing and hitting that like, that's awesome too. So let's get into it. Hi there, Aquarius. We're going to see what's going on for you for 2020. But first, before we get to that, we are going to talk about how to listen to these videos. So if you haven't already watched my 2020 video, please go over there and do that. I will link it here so that you can go check it out. That's the basis for these readings. Also, please make sure that you are understanding that these are not about what's happening in the surface level of your life. That time is done. It's done. It doesn't mean that you can't listen to those readings. It doesn't mean that those readings are worthless. It just means that we need to up our game. And you can't keep cycling around, oh, I'll be happy if I know that goodness is coming. Honestly, listen to some of the predictive readings. How often do they come true? Oh, they come true. What? It happened once? And so you think they're valid, right? So just ask yourself that and be aware. So what we're going to be doing here is looking at things on a soul level. What can you do for the greater collective? What can you do to be in your highest potential and contributing to the highest potential of everybody? And how can you serve? And how can you be making more of a contribution in this world, okay, on a soul level? So let's see here. Let's get your cards going. Okay, here we go. Your cards. We have, there's two of them coming out. Okay, so we have Purgatory was stuck on the back of Gratitude. So you get yourself stuck this year by not expressing gratitude for some of you. That's only for a small part, maybe a third of you watching. For the rest of you, the gratitude, there's all this gratitude, but then there's this feeling of like, 2020 just feels really, really like I'm stuck. Like I don't know how to move forward. And they're saying if you find yourself in a place of feeling like you're in a purgatory, that has a lot to do with putting pressure on yourself to be something. And we are out of that era now, guys. We're really seeing this by the generation that's coming up. And I'm not talking about, the 20-somethings and the 30-somethings. I'm talking about the 15-year-olds, the 16, 17, up to about age 18. They're the ones coming forward with a lot of these ideas of, what are you doing? And it could be done like this. And why are we doing this? It should be like this. So, you might have a lot of gratitude for things that are coming up, but and I think that's coming up because there might be some real changes that occur because of people in that age bracket, but this can make you feel confused. I mean, because the world that you've always known is now breaking open, and there's somewhere you're supposed to go forward, but you don't know what it is. Now, we're going to get more cards here, but remember, the gratitude came out, and I think the gratitude is coming out saying that purgatory is a gift right now. Purgatory is a place where you can connect into your own light, you can rest, all right? You don't need to keep plowing ahead, and you don't need to keep going into the old way of doing things, which is to plow ahead and accomplish, and have gratitude. Here you go. For where you are, oh yes, and coming into your own light. It's like she's walking in her own light. See that? Now this could be a slow unfolding for you, but it's not a bad thing. It's like people feel, like I see it all the time. Actually, I saw this kind of resurgence of people being thrill seekers and being pushy and demanding, going, come on, hurry up. And it was like, really, I thought we were all coming out of that. People with that kind of mentality, we see them everywhere. When we start getting into this time, which is now being coined the golden era, or the pursuit of golden consciousness, these people are going to find themselves in a world that makes no sense to them. They are in the real purgatory, all right? And that's not being said out of judgment. Hopefully one of those people will see this video and you'll wake up a little bit here. There's no more time for games. It's not like the end of the world, but you know, we can live a better existence, and we're going to discover that, okay? Intimacy. So intimacy is mostly talking about you appreciating your human form and you appreciating being in this body. Sorry, let me get a better, there we go. Appreciating being in this human form and being human, you know, having a kind of a falling in love with that aspect of yourself all over again, okay? The intimacy card could also talk about getting more comfortable with your physical expression. So this could be body positivity. That could be a really big thing for you. Comfort levels with your being and with just being human, okay? Body positivity, that's surface level. We're touching on that a little bit. But what I'm getting at here is not being afraid to love, not being afraid to open up and show somebody else who you really are, and being more mindful when someone shows you who they are, for good or for bad, okay? Again, I don't want to put judgment around it, but, you know, especially if you're an empath, you need to be careful. You know, it's not like you have to live like, kind of like, oh, everyone's going to hurt me. But there are people out there, again, who have, they're kind of spinning around in a lack of light, right? Thinking that they're in their power and taking advantage of people that they think they can, right? And so they take advantage of your kindness, your compassion, all of those things. So yeah, this intimacy card talks about learning to trust. Actually, for some of you out there, you're learning to trust, you're learning to be comfortable in your own skin, and you're learning that you are valuable as a human being. All right. Then we have the messenger. So yes, you could be getting quite a few messages in this year, but the messages, it feels more like something just happens, or you see something and you're like, oh, message received. So it's not as if you're sitting in meditation and all the messages are coming through. As a matter of fact, in some cases, the meditation is preparing you not to get the message right there during the meditation, but rather later, okay, so that you can perceive it. You're open enough to perceive it. So you might be going, well, what's the message? If you're really worried about what the specifics are, that's the ego taking over. Be careful with that. Your heart doesn't use words, not usually. It just feels, it experiences, it connects, right? So be very, very careful about getting too much in the ego consciousness and trying to figure everything out. That's going to get you off path, all right? All right, so let's get you a color card. All right. Oh, there it is. It went right into my hand. Da, 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 da. Auburn, ground yourself. The number is 11. So for some of you out there, you're really going to have a hard time perhaps with this, because you're having a hard time balancing between the lower chakras and the higher chakras. You're having a hard time kind of wrapping your mind around the idea that you can be spiritual and in a physical body, right? So experiencing the higher self through the lower chakras as well as the higher ones, all right? And understanding that and being balanced and grounded. So for some of you in 2020, if you were starting to run away with that story and starting to become a 2012 scenario again, where we're trying to make this into a big deal. And you might say, well, it is a big deal. I agree, but we don't need to get all human about it, if that makes sense. We don't need to be like, oh, you guys, the end is near, and it's not near. It's not anywhere near, I don't think. And people disagree, and I don't care. What this is talking about don't run away with yourself. Don't run away with your stories because they feel dazzling, right? There's real work to be done. It's time to buckle down, okay? It's time to get really real. There you go. Get grounded, because there's stuff that we are being told right now. It's a beautiful gift. There are things that are being revealed to us, and we can't have that hitting our ego consciousness and getting scrambled and turning into something else, and then we miss the message. Okay? So I hope that made sense. All right, guys. So we're going to leave it there. I'm sending you so much love, and take care.